question period. Senator Plett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Senator Gold, in 2021, the Trudeau government fought the families of Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey in court to prevent them from obtaining from the Parole Board and Correctional Service Canada to prepare for the parole hearings of Paul Bernardo, who tortured and killed their daughters. The Trudeau government argued in favor of protecting Paul Bernardo's privacy rights, and they won the case. Then, to its everlasting shame, Senator Gold, the Trudeau government asked the court for these families to pay the government's legal costs of $19,142.27. The judge later reduced it to $4,000. Leader, a delayed answer table last fall failed to answer the question you were asked in 2021. Why did your government seek court costs from these grieving families, Senator Gold?
Well, thank you for the question. I regret that the answer that was provided didn't answer that. I'll certainly follow up in an endeavor to find out why and what the answer might be.
Well, thank you, Senator Gold. I hope it won't take 2 years, but I appreciate you finding out. Leader, this past January, the Trudeau government was fighting these families before the Federal Court of Appeal to keep Paul Bernardo's corrections and parole files a secret. And last week we learned that your government did nothing to stop him from being moved out of a maximum security facility. In fact, it's worse than that. The Prime Minister, both the Prime Minister and Minister Mendocino, pretended to be shocked and appalled when the jail transfer became public. And yet their staff, Senator Gold, knew about this transfer and that it was coming up for months. Leader, the minister has repeatedly said he's taken corrective steps with his staff for allegedly not telling him about the transfer. My first question, Senator Gold, is what are those corrective steps? But Senator Gold, as well, on what date did the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Katie Telford, learn about Paul Bernardo being moved out of a maximum security facility?
Senator Gold.
Well, thank you for your question. I think the answers to both questions are already in the public domain, but the important point to make in response to your question, and again to this very troubling incident, especially for the families who were so tragically affected, is that it is not the law, nor the practice, nor should it be, that ministers direct correctional services with regard to whether they transfer prisoners and inmates from one facility to another, or the inverse. It was, as the minister said, he asked for a review, which is the appropriate limit of political involvement in these matters. And with regard to the challenges that have been acknowledged with the transmission of information, the minister has addressed that internally.
Senator Marshall.